Guys!
I am shitting bricks right now.
Why?
Well, actually, I literally am for so many reasons. But what I really mean is I'm so excited. We have fucking Steve-O on the show from Jackass.
I am beyond excited about this.
First of all, he's the first flaccid penis I've ever seen. And you know me and my flaccid.
You do? You have an issue with that?
No, I think his looks just like mine. I think.
We should test it out.
Can you Google it while I'm talking?
Sure.
He was on like a red carpet and he took his pants off once and I remember being like, that's mine. So look that up.
No.
He has so many stories.
Do I type flaccid in the search engine?
Just Steve-O's penis maybe. I don't think it would have been hard. That would have been weird.
Soft, flaccid, uncut cock.
Oh.
No.
Interesting. Well, guys, if you want to see my flaccid penis and the rest of the show, go to fullscreen.com or download the Fullscreen app because you're definitely going to want to see this one because I'm going to ask him to show us his scars. Like, I want to see crazy tattoos.
Oh.
And honestly, I'm just going to sit here and listen because he has so many fucking stories. This guy has done the craziest shit ever, and I've only seen it. I want to hear about, like, shit that we haven't seen.
Yeah, and for so long. He was, like, I think one of the first people really to, like, take this, like what we have on YouTube now in terms of filming yourself and putting it out on a platform. Like, that didn't exist when they were getting started with this and the whole Jackass thing. So I'm sure he has fucking stories for days.
So
and he's hot.
Yeah.
I think he's so cute. I'm going to be throwing my pussy at him all day.
Is he married?
I don't know, but he probably has like a...
You said your horoscope. What did it say?
Well, I'm looking up flaccid penises right now, Shane, so what do you want from me?
Well, look that up. But her horoscope today said she's going to meet somebody interesting for her love life. Maybe it was him. Maybe you met him.
Oh, my God. Maybe it will be him. I can't find a picture of it.
All right, well, I'll just show you mine.
Okay. It was a stuffed animal, smoking crack. Some sort of tattoo with a dartboard. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, but my horoscope said, let's see, it says, if you're single, pay attention to those you meet. Wherever you think you're least likely to meet someone is the place you're likely to know.
Very least likely. We haven't had his success yet. What happened to the guy that you went on a date with here?
Remember he didn't call me again?
That's right.
Yeah, he just couldn't handle it. And that's all right.
So do you think that he was faking his like for you for the show?
I do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wait, really?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Because he never called again. If you fucking liked me, you would have called me and been like, hey, bitch, let's go out.
Interesting. You guys didn't like sext or anything?
Nothing.
Really?
Well, I wasn't also really into it, but...
Right. Oh,
right.
Wow. Okay.
Girl, I'm just saying. And I'm already starting to get a little like, with the other guy I'm dating, because he's not turning me out right.
Wait, so what's going on with that?
I'm still, like, dating, having fun, but I'm just getting over it.
What do you mean he's not turning you out right?
Like, he's not satisfying me.
In what way?
Sexually.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why?
Because it's just, like, very, like, get in, get out. Like, I need foreplay, I need, like, caressing, and I think he has, like, OCD or just doesn't like sticky.
Wait, something. What?
Yeah. You know?
Wait, so, okay, so take me through, like, a typical, like, a night with you guys.
Well, it varies, obviously, but...
it always starts with a huge amount of food.
Yeah, right? Just like eat. For me, it's like at least 3 Pinot Grigios for sure, maybe a couple medication sessions.
Right.
And then maybe a restaurant, maybe not, maybe home, but it's kind of like, I feel like as time is passing, that he's coming over later and not courting. You know, like, I want to be taken out. I want to be wine and dine. I'm a fucking woman, and I've never been in love. And I think if I'm going to be in love, it's going to take some time and not just, like, come over and sit on it and then don't even, like, I've never even orgasmed.
Really?
Well, I never really have anyway. But still, at least try, motherfucker.
So then what is sex to you?
A job.
Wait, hold on.
An
I really want to know.
inconvenience.
If you can't orgasm, so then what does it feel like? Does it just feel like picking your nose?
I like picking my nose. No, picking my nose is probably more satisfying.
But what does it
sex.
feel? Is it like?
I mean, it feels good. I just never get to like squirt level.
What feels good about it though? I don't have a pussy, so I don't know.
Just like it feels good, like rubbing on your penis. It's the same. It feels good in there. It just never gets there.
Let me think about that.
You know?
Okay, I'm thinking about
like a hand job. You like hand jobs?
Yeah.
So that feeling of something like against your skin, it's like the same thing of my inner walls, of my uterine canal.
But if I didn't come, I wouldn't keep doing it.
Right. Well, that's why I rarely have sex.
Right. Wait, so like he just like gets it in, he finishes.
In like 2 seconds because I turn him out.
Do you pretend that you finished?
No.
What do you do?
I'm over that game.
So what do you do?
I just go like, all right, bye.
Wait, doesn't he feel weird that he can't give you an orgasm? That would be the big. I wouldn't be able to date you.
That's what I'm saying. I think because he's European, he don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it even crosses his mind. And I'm not honestly like invested to where I'm like, babe, like you should really try to turn me out better. Like, I don't
So
give a
what do
fuck.
you guys do? So, okay, so he finishes. Like, do you guys lay there together? Is he like, I can keep trying?
No, not at all.
So what happens?
He's like, it's done. Like, and that's it. And like, watch TV or like round 2 in a little bit, cook some food or something. But I don't know. I'm just not like, I feel bad, but like, he's cute and he's sexy and like having a good time. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, I want something else. I want more.
Wow.
And that's all right because I'm not in an exclusive relationship.
Interesting.
So if like another piece of meat were to come by, I'd say, yo, get on my grill.
Right. Ooh, I love that. You should
Right?
start selling merch.
Okay.
Yo, meat, get on my grill.
Yo, meat, it
I
needs
love
to be
that.
on my grill.
Wait, so I had a trauma this week.
What?
Speaking of your bed and how dirty it can get,
Oh, no.
let's talk about my bed.
What happened?
So I was hanging out and somebody was with me and they pointed at my couch and they said, oh my God, what is that?
No.
And I look and it was a bug on my couch. And I was like, oh, it's just a bug. But then I was like, I've never seen that bug before. And jokingly, he goes, that kind of looks like a bed bug. And I was like, what? So then I take a picture of it. I kill it. I Google it. It looked just like a bed bug. I lose my shit.
No,
Now,
you have bed bugs?
Now, I don't know anything about bed bugs. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they do.
You gotta move.
But I've heard about. Yeah, I literally get out my couch. I throw the cushions. I'm screaming.
That's a
I get
nightmare.
outside. I grab my phone. I'm calling Orkin Man. I'm calling all these bug
yeah.
places. I'm like, it's Sunday, so nobody's open. I'm crying. I'm freaking out. He's
Oh,
laughing.
no.
Because it's like, he's like, I don't think that's a bed bug. It looks like it. I don't think it is. I'm like, that's a fucking bed bug. Because I went traveling. I was in 9 different states in a week. There's a bed bug. Like, it followed me. I have a lot of
in
pubic
your
hair.
suitcase,
It crawled
something.
on. And
Have
now-
you been getting bites?
But no, but that's the thing. I've also been confusing bugs because I'm like, it's in my hair, and he's like, that's lice. And I'm like,
lice.
it's in my dick hole. It's here. He's like, that's scabies. I'm like confusing all of them. So then the Orkin Man comes over. I literally like didn't stay at my house that night. I took all my shit. I like put all my clothes in a fire, like because you
Yeah.
have to burn them. It was a whole thing.
It's a thing.
And then like I go to
So
my
that's
bed.
why you got all these new shirts. You finally burnt your old one.
So I'm looking.
One.
I'm looking on the bed, and I'm like looking, and I find a little red leg from a little red bug, and I'm like, that's a fucking bed bug leg. And
A little red leg.
I'm out. So then the Orkin Man comes the next day. And number one, he like walked inside and he looked at, because I had my camera on, like facing my kitchen, and there was like all these treats. I was obviously about to film a video, and I'm wearing my signature Medieval Times blue shirt. And he looks at that, he looks at my shirt, he looks at the treats, and he goes, "You're Shane." I was like,
Oh,
give it
Orkin
away.
Man
And I'm like,
knows.
now this Orkin Man knows that I have bed bugs. Anyways,
Yep.
so then I'm like,
You gotta kill the
I
Orkin
think I
Man.
have bed bugs. And then he goes, let me look. And then he looks at the picture and he goes, that definitely looks like one. And then he searches and he's like, I can't find anything. He's like, usually, there's eggs, there's this, there's that. He's like, there's nothing.
There's
so
just one.
he calls his boss, sends a picture, and they're like, oh, it's a stink bug. I Google it. It's the only other bug that looks just like a bed bug.
What? I feel like stink bugs are like those big old ones, like in the
Well, that's
Sahara.
the thing. A stink bug was bigger than a bed bug. So like, he only saw a picture, but like in real life, the bug was like pretty big. And he's like, oh no, bed bugs are like very small.
Yeah, they're
And I'm
super
like,
tiny.
oh, it was like the size of like a spider or something.
Oh, bitch, that ain't a bed
Well,
bug.
I thought it was. I literally lost my mind. And when I found out I didn't have bed bugs, it was the same reaction I had when I found out I didn't have herpes type 2. I like had a whole new outlook on life. I was like ready to conquer the world. I was like, you know what? It starts now.
It does.
Today is my new today.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
that.
That's
Bed
my
bug free.
hop on my grill, get that meat.
I like that.
I'm ready for it.
Hop in my bed.
So
Let's
I
call
don't
you
have
a
bed
bug.
bugs, guys. Speaking of bed bugs and gross things on sheets.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Fair Abraham time.
Do-do-do-do-do.
God made a mistake.
Oof, bitch! He did. And you know what? It's okay. Because sometimes when you're Farrah Abraham, you just don't know what comes out of your mouth. Whether it be Coke
Or in it.
bottles or in it or, all this stuff. Basically, she being racist again.
Okay.
I guess on that podcast that she was on that we addressed last time.
Allegedly.
They were asking her about, like, dating brothers. And she's like, brothers?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, what does that mean,
And
brothers?
she's like, I've never fucked my brother, but I've thought about it.
yeah, like, I don't have any brothers, but, like, I'm really not into black guys. I think that's more of, like, a Kardashian thing.
Wait, she said that?
Yeah.
Wait, she actually said that?
Right there.
Hold on. Brothers? What do you mean, brothers? I have no brothers. I'm really not into black guys. I think that's more of a Kardashian thing. God bless them. First of all,
Ooh-wee.
I love that her first reaction was to think of her actual brother.
But I think that's her trying to be funny. Like, brothers? I don't have any brothers.
No, because if she had a brother, she'd fuck him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? We could, like... Oh.
It'd be like sex tape number 3.
Sex tape number 1.
Like, yeah, what do they call that? Incest?
Incest.
I almost said, like, hemoglobin or something. I don't know where my brain went.
That's definitely not a word.
No, yes it is. I think it's a bruise.
Is it? Now... What is that even? Okay, it says, ask when she bangs a lot of brothers. Well, I remember, when we had her on the show, she said some kind of crazy racist shit that we cut out. I don't remember exactly what it was. Well, she said some transphobic shit.
A lot of stuff. Ooh. Homophobic, transphobic, racephobic.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut this out because, like, I don't want her to get killed. But, like, she keeps saying this shit.
She's bringing it on herself, man.
Do you think, it's so interesting because I wonder, like, okay, for example, when I was, like, growing up, and I would, like, me and my friends would say racist jokes or whatever. And by the way, most of my friends were black.
Mine were, like, Polish jokes.
Right. So, like, they would say it. Like, you say a lot of shit that, like, when you grow up, you're like, oh, I even have videos from, like, 5 years ago where I'm like, oh, my God, I would never say that today. And I'm, like, I feel like, will she never have that realization? Like, oh, I shouldn't say this shit.
No.
Like, ever?
Because she's Farrah Abraham. She does what she wants.
Like, I feel like you grow out of that when you're, like, 20, and then you kind of grow out of it, and it's whatever. Like,
right.
How old is she? 40?
She's at least 57, and she's a sociopath.
Right.
So, like, you're incapable of thinking of other people's feelings and or whatever. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this because it's going to hurt someone's feelings. She don't give a fuck. She's like, let's just hurt everybody's feelings because I don't even know how to feel.
Or she's like,
just touch my
she's
hand.
like, I did. Or I could turn you out. Or
Get on my grill,
I actually
bitch.
could give you an orgasm. I feel like I have tips.
I don't know about that.
I could. I have this technique with my
with what?
fingernail.
Let me know.
I'm kidding.
Which nail?
This one.
Where does it go?
The one I bit off.
You know it. I will bite your nails for you, babe.
Really?
Yeah, I love biting my nails. Give it to me.
Are you gonna do it right now, guys? If you want to see her bite my nails,
let me get the best
go
one.
to fullscreen.com.
I want to get your cuticle.
Or download the
that's a good
Fullscreen
one.
app. Wait, is this really happening? Wait, what does a cuticle mean? Wait, what are you doing?
Bit your nail off. And
That
I just
was
ate it.
Sexual.
And I swallowed. I have a piece of you inside me forever now.
Oh my God, I love that.
I know.
I don't remember what I was talking about, but guys.
He's like, you just bit my nail, bitch, and now he's like all closed fisted.
No, I love it. We're gonna take a short little break, and during the
really
break, I'm gonna have
for
you bite my fucking toenails.
Oh, I used to bite my toenails as a kid.
And dark.
Ugh.
Farrah would hate that. Guys, we're gonna take a quick little break. When we come back, Steve-O's here. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
And I'm gonna go pee. I don't know. This has been a weird show.
Yep.
I love it. See you guys soon. Guys, we're fucking back, and I am containing my fangirlness right now.
Me too.
We're here with fucking Steve-O.
This is the first guest I know. I love it.
The first non-YouTube guest that you know. Hi.
Well, hello.
I just want to start this out, and this is really, really awful, but I just got to say it. You mean, and I'm trying to act so cool, you mean so much to me, and like me and my mom and my brother, my mom, who's, by the way, very religious, but she loved Jackass, and we would watch that show, and we were going through some hard times, and we would fucking laugh and try to reenact the things. Didn't really work, like when my mom peed on me, like it wasn't hilarious, like it wasn't a show, but thank you so much for coming, and I'm so excited, and my mom is crying right now.
Well, hey, man, thank you for having me. There's a lot to talk about.
I don't even know where to start. Well, let's start with what we were talking about before the show, which is the craziest thing you've paid a hooker to do.
Right. It was many years ago when Jackass came out. You see, when Jackass came out, I was super broke, unemployed, homeless, you know.
Just all the qualities that one looks for in a man.
Well, yeah,
you know?
because, I mean, it really was, and it's surprising to a lot of people, but I was working as a circus clown, and when I left the circus for 5 days to film the first season, I came back to the circus, and they told me I was fired, so I lost my job.
What did you do in the circus?
I was a clown.
Wait.
I was a circus clown.
Wait,
What?
how did I not know you were, like, you actually were a clown?
Like Barnum and Bailey?
I graduated from Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College in 1997.
What? Shut your mouth. You got a certificate or something?
I got a diploma.
No, you do not.
what is-
And that makes me the only guy from Jackass who has a college diploma.
In clowning.
I'm the only college graduate because I went to clown college.
Wait,
Oh
we'll
my
get to
God.
hookers later. Let's start
Yeah,
here.
what kind of
Wait a minute. What the
curriculum?
hell? Like, what do you actually do in clown college? Like, take us through like a typical day.
Well, typical day. Every day was pretty similar.
Makeup.
Like in the facility at 8 a.m. for a morning like stretch workout, And then the day was broken down largely into hour-long activities like classes where it would be like an hour of acrobatics, an hour of...
Can you do flips and stuff?
I could do flips before I even got there, like simultaneous fire-breathing flips.
Whoa!
Yeah, that was like my...
Anybody got any fire?
That was one of my specialties. But then we had dance, skills, makeup. Every day we put on makeup. And they didn't teach us how. They just gave us makeup kits. And on the first day, like they said, just give it a shot. And then they took pictures of us when we were done because it was funny.
What was your look? Like, what was your theme?
Well, there's 3 different types of clowns. One, and like it relates to cartoon characters, kind of, because like there's like the straight guy and the funny guy. For example, Tom and Jerry. Like Tom is like the
straight.
Like no, Jerry is the straight guy. He's in control.
Oh.
Like, and Tom is the bumbling. Or did I have him wrong? Whatever.
Who's the tall one?
The cat.
Yeah.
That's Tom, right?
I think that's Tom.
Yeah. Whatever. In any case, I was like more like the kind of bumbling. They called it an Auguste clown.
Auguste.
Right. Yeah, and I wasn't the white face, which is the straight character. You know, you wouldn't picture me being the white face clown.
No.
But and then what else? We had circus history. We had skills. Like I feel like I'm forgetting a ton of them.
How long did this take to get a diploma?
Years?
It took longer to get into clown college than to get through it, because they held auditions everywhere that the circus went, and the circus was always in 2 different places because they had 2 of them, and then they would alternate schedules. So they held clown college auditions in 100 different U.S. cities every year, and you had to audition to even get an application. And the application was 8 pages long, and you had to answer questions like, when was the last time you cried and why? Like all this crazy stuff.
They want a sad clown.
Yeah.
Well, no, they want like what they really want is people who are open and uninhibited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want people to just let it all out. And my reasoning for wanting to go to clown college was because I didn't fare very well in college. I graduated high school, but then I went to the University of Miami, and I just couldn't go to class. And
Now you're partying then. Miami's great.
I just couldn't go. I never went to class. I couldn't keep a job. I was failing out of school. I got kicked out of the dorms. And
for what?
For like, you know, pot and booze and vandalism and, you know, trouble with the cops.
Standard stuff. Nothing too big.
Right. But on my way out, because I was filming everything, like when I was, sort of on my way out. I've been filming everything since I was 15 years old. And I just decided, I love filming crazy crap, and I want to be like a crazy famous stunt guy. Of course, at the time, everybody thought the same thing. They thought, what a shame. What a loser. He thinks he's actually going to make a living making stupid videos.
Right.
Which just was not like a viable career option at that time. And I'd like to think that I pioneered the art.
You did.
But
you started it.
And I started some things for sure. But when I found out about clown college, I thought, if I could graduate from Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Clown College, then people would take me more seriously as a stuntman. If I was a trained circus professional,
I see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, I'm the only guy who went to clown college seeking legitimacy, and it kind of worked, and I had a career. I worked as a circus clown. I was in the circus and stuff.
Was there like clown hookups? Like, is it like normal college where there's like hookups and there's like...
I hooked up with one of the clowns.
You did?
I did, but she wasn't wearing her makeup, which is like, it's one of my old jokes. Having sex with a clown who's not wearing her makeup is like banging a flight attendant on the ground.
Was she at least juggling your balls?
It just sucks.
Something.
Right. But I wound up working in the circus. I took up the whole first season of Jackass I filmed in 5 days. And it was like crazy stuff happened. Like I got bitten by a shark. On my finger. You can see my little scar right there.
Oh.
Yeah, it got pretty mangled.
What were you doing with your finger in a shark's mouth?
I didn't pay attention to their one piece of advice: don't wave your hands in front of its mouth.
Oh, good to know.
And I couldn't remember that. After the 5 days, and I just filmed all this crazy stuff, and showed up back at the circus, and they said we don't have it in our budget to keep you around anymore.
5 days, you're gone?
Right. Well, they were mostly upset because Johnny Knoxville and the whole MTV crew actually came to the circus to film me perform, and the circus owner says like what are these assholes doing filming our elephants?
Oh.
You know, and I said, dude, they're MTV. They're not gonna like let you sue them. You know, they're not gonna do anything wrong.
Right.
But they're like, well, we don't like it. And then we came back and they fired me. And the problem was that for that whole first season of Jackass, despite the fact that it still plays all the time, like I made a total of less than $1,500.
Oof, wow. Lesson learned.
Yeah, well, I mean, but hey, I had to pay my dues, you know?
Yeah.
So, and the pay scale for what I did was hilarious. If it was like a genuinely like dangerous stunt where I could get like seriously hurt, I'd get paid $500. If it was like more of a like low impact comedy prank, you know, I get $200.
Interesting.
And at the end of the 5 days, I sat down with a piece of paper and wrote down like what I expected to be paid for, and more importantly, what I expected to see on the show. So I wrote down like goldfish, where I swallowed a goldfish.
I remember that.
A pretty big goldfish too. I swallowed it and then I barfed it up into the fishbowl.
You sure did.
And I remember I wrote down goldfish, and I thought about it for a second, and I wrote 200. Like, that's so insane because I mean I could have choked on it.
Yeah.
I could have died like choking on it. It could have come up you know, I mean,
bones in your intestines. Who knows?
For God's sakes, take the 500. Yeah. But I had too much pride. I wanted to be considered a guy who's just so crazy, so gnarly. Like, oh, that was just kind of funny. That wasn't a stunt.
Yeah, you didn't even have to pay me.
I'm so badass. Like I that's just 200. You know, and so at the end of the day, after taxes, I made less than $1,500, and I had a raging cocaine habit, and I was just like partying so hard that I blew through that $1,500 so fast.
2 bags.
So by the time the show came out, I was legitimately just my sister had kicked me out. There was another thing I did for that first season. I climbed up a ladder. And like there were 3 elephants in my circus, and I stocked up all the poo. And I filled like there were like three 50-gallon containers that are filled with elephant poo.
Oh my God!
I brought it up to my sister's house and put it into a kiddie pool. So I had this kiddie pool with just a mountain of elephant poo in it. And then I climbed up a big like 10-foot ladder and did like flips into the poo and like buried my face in the poo. And then at the end, I remember at the end of the shoot, the poo diving. You know, after elephant poo diving, like the producer said, "Hey man, we'll you know, clean this up. We'll get this all out of here." And I said, "Nope," because I didn't want to be perceived as difficult to work with.
Oh,
you know?
I'll take care of the poo.
I said the poo stays there. Let's go to the next shoot. You know? And so we left the poo there at my sister's house. And of course, this is South Florida, so like torrential, you know, tropical rain stormed down and like rained on all the poo and flooded not only my sister's house but like flooded the neighbor's house. So this is just a
shitstorm.
Yeah, it was just like a poo flood.
Oh,
and that was like really had me on thin ice with my sister. And then like I didn't even show up. I was supposed to be there, but I was like you know, on a cocaine bender. And then when I finally showed up, she said, "Get out." So by the time the actual show aired, I was homeless, unemployed, totally fucking broke, and like. And I was also like one of the stars on the biggest show on MTV. It was the highest ratings in the history of MTV at that point. You know,
Wait, did you know that? Like, were you literally like were you homeless? And then like somebody's like, "Oh, you're from," like, how did you
totally?
Find out?
You're like, "Oh, we're just doing a bit right
now."
now."
Oh no, I mean, I knew
on the street.
I knew that I knew that it came out, and I was like, nah, whatever. I had enough friends. There was always someone I could sleep on their sofa. I was more of a couch surfer than really homeless.
Oh, okay.
You know, definitely like that's the difference. If you've got like some skills, if you've got like a charming personality, you're a couch surfer.
Yeah, if you can like do flips and like spit fire, you can get on anybody's couch for sure.
Right.
So how long until the so the show comes out?
So the show comes out, and overnight, like I'm like a celebrity, and I couldn't even believe it. People are like, "No way, dude, you're Steve-O, man. Can I get a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like, "Can I sleep on your sofa?"
Yeah, you got $5.
Yeah, right. It was crazy, and I remember like after the 3rd episode aired, which was 2 weeks into the run. got a call from the producer. He says, it's a hit. It's like, we got the biggest, for any programming like this, of course not. Like the exception would be like the VMAs, which is a sort of a different deal. It was the highest ratings in MTV history. Wow. And they said MTV is going to order seasons 2 and 3 at the same go. The first season was 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. So they're ordering 16 episodes now. And the guy says, I know we need to pay you, so we are going to give you $2,000 per episode, like moving forward, for the highest rated show in this year.
Right? But like at that time, that money
oh
is
my
like,
God.
No!
Oh my God. At that time, I'm doing math in my head. I'm thinking like, okay, 16 episodes times 2,000. That's $32,000. I am fucking rich.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah. And before, before I got paid for that second and third season, I remember they paid me half up front, and after taxes, that came to roughly $10,000. Wow. And
gone in 3 days.
Not gone in 3 days. I called up the director of Jackass, and I told him, I said, hey, man, I'm about to get a check for like 10 grand, and I've never even heard of 10 grand. Like I said, I'm going to put it in the bank, and before it even clears, I'm going to be in my car driving from Florida to move out to LA, because I wanted to capitalize on whatever opportunity this got me. And the director said, you're not going anywhere. He said, you're not going anywhere until you give me a list of Jackass bits that you're going to film for every state, Florida to California. And you give me an idea for what you're going to do in every single state along the way. And I'll send out a television production crew to follow you.
All right.
And so I'm like, yeah, when I go to Alabama, I want to go bang on the door at a black fraternity house and tell the guys how cool I think their brands are. Because you see the black fraternity guys have those big brands on their arms. Mm-hmm. And I want to ask them to brand a heart over my heart as a symbol to show that love hurts. It's just a stupid idea. Just a stupid thing to get branded. We like it, but we have to do things under the supervision of professionals, and so at a fraternity house, it's just not going to work. But we found a tattoo parlor where, they really don't, but it's sort of a professional environment. We can get you branded at a tattoo parlor in Alabama. So we did, and we did all this stuff across country. And when they turned in the episode, like the standards and practices, the censors, they said, hey, whoa. We said that you could get Steve-O branded. We didn't say that. We never said anything about airing footage of sizzling, smoking flesh. His flesh is sizzling and smoking. We can't show that. So I got branded for nothing. You can see.
Let me see. Yeah.
You got the heart.
Where?
Yeah. Whatever,
Wait,
I thought it was a tan line. I had that in the tan booth with a sticker.
But before that second season started shooting, I was out of money, man. I was hurting for cash. And there was this pretty shady internet. This was sort of before the .com kind of boom thing fell apart. And this shady internet company, they were I guess one of the first people to put video online. And video online at that time was
YouTube kind of environment.
Not a YouTube. Right? This was year 2000. No, it was called All True. Okay. They were some company out of New York, and they had a deal with me. They struck up a deal because Jackass was hot and whatever, and it made sense, and I needed money, so they flew me up to New York. And they paid me $500 per whatever segment stunt. And so I just had to come up with ideas. And I was like, okay, New York. And I was like,
your life's on the line for the $500 ones. This is not a $200 goldfish.
No. For the internet company, I could do whatever. I could do whatever I wanted for $5, as long as it was funny. And a lot of the stuff I did really was pretty fucking funny, man. I remember putting on a crazy jogging suit and going through some super rich neighborhood in Connecticut. I put this jogging suit and I dumped a chocolate pudding, a thing of chocolate pudding into the pants. Oh, no. And then I went stopping people and I'm like, hey, I'm just jogging and I thought I was gonna fart, but and I pull down the pants and show them all the pudding in there. I'm like, can I was banging on people's doors saying can you just maybe let me in to clean up a little bit, maybe do a little laundry.
Did anyone let you in?
Someone went into their house and got a roll of paper towel. and threw it to me.
Oh my God, just get your shit off of my property.
Yeah, that was good for 500. There was a bunch of them I did, but one of them, and this is like what a long-winded answer to your initial question, but one of them was I went under a bridge in New York City, and the idea was to pay a street hooker to pee on me. So before doing it, I mummified myself with saran wrap. And then put my clothes on it because I didn't want like hooker pee really on me. You know,
what can you catch from hooker pee? Like what?
You know what? Like
hepatitis, meningitis.
Not true. Like and I know this intimately because it's like shortly after Jackass came out, like once I became familiar with what is and what isn't allowed on TV, like I was sort of aware of like what you can show and what you can't show, and so I put together like a live touring stage show where I essentially did nothing on that stage that you can show on TV. It was a sort of like a guided tour through what they can't show you. And it was called the Don't Try This at Home tour, and I promoted it by promising it
you will not see this on TV.
No, I said Steve-O will be drunk and on drugs or your money back.
Guaranteed.
Such a shit show.
What's the craziest thing that you did on stage during that?
Well, there was one time I picked up 2 felony charges for I was like some serious trouble I got in down in Louisiana. So in the beginning I would come out with a bottle of tequila and I would like put a huge pile of salt on my hand. Like I would like have the cylindrical thing with Morton salt with a little metal spout that pulls out, and I would pour like a pile of salt in my hand and I would snort it like snort a bunch of salt up my nose, and then I would chug the tequila. And then I would have a lime that was cut in half, and both halves of the lime, I would squeeze all the
juice.
Squeeze the juice into my eyeballs. And then I would be like, that really hurts, and I'd have like a couple of the other Jackass guys with me. And I'd be like, oh, my eyes, help me out, guys. And then they would go like, and they would both hawk like gnarly loogies into each one. Each guy had an eye, and so they both at the same time would hawk loogies into my eyeballs, and the loogies would be dribbling down, and then that of course would make me barf, and I would vomit. I would barf all over the stage.
Oh my God!
At one point, and another thing I would do, I'd say I would say to the crowd, who wants to get on stage and get kicked in the nuts? And it's unbelievable to me, dude. Guys would be jumping up and down, with their arm up in the air and their other arm pointing at themselves. Me. Jumping, they're just begging to get on stage and have me kick them in the nuts. And and I would be like, okay, who wants to drink my piss? And I would piss into a cup. And dudes would get on stage and just drink a cup of my piss. And I know that from the hooker that you can't get you can't get anything because urine like piss is it's filled with ammonia, which makes it sterile and antiseptic. And it's actually even drinking pee is a good way to replace lost nutrients or something. It's pretty safe to have even if you're
Survivor time.
Even if you're riddled with all kinds of diseases, I think people can drink your pee and not catch anything.
How did you?
You guys want to try it?
So it was not. And I mean, it was more when I did the thing with the hooker. It was more because it was visually funny, that I'm rap,
Long John
and
saran
of course
wrap.
I still didn't want hooker piss on me, but it was more just I looked funny. They're like, what are you doing while I'm wrapping the saran wrap all around? What are you doing? I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna go see how much it costs. I think I might have paid $20 for a hooker to piss on me. And that was a pretty good bit for that thing. But the time when I got in trouble, so the craziest thing I did on that tour, and I don't even know if this counts as the craziest thing because there was, we would bring guys on stage and be like, oh, because the bottle of tequila was like a presence on the stage. Okay. And a lot of times, I'd be like, oh, who wants to get on the stage and try and, like, there were guys that would, like, that, like a big bottle of tequila, and, like, I would let guys, like, chug it, like, where dudes are trying to drink the whole thing. People could have died of alcohol.
Yeah, that's some
there was, like, I mean, like, the chugging hard liquor is not a good idea. And I distinctly recall, and I even, like, there's footage of guys, like, literally chugging, like, at least like probably half of like this huge bottle of tequila, people could die, people really could die. That was like a terrible thing that we would do.
So you got arrested for that?
Well, no, I never got arrested for that. At one point I was in Louisiana and I remember there was someone, like the bottle of tequila was at the foot of the stage, and someone in the crowd, it was standing room only, and someone in the crowd like sort of kind of climbed on the stage a little bit and reached over and grabbed the tequila bottle. And now the bouncers, they were all like college football players. They saw this happen, and they just took action. They just came running in, and they neutralized this. They got the tequila bottle back. They were so fast and so effective. And I remember just thinking, wow, these guys are impressive. They were huge football players too. And I remember thinking, man, those guys are good. Like, those guys are good. And just right spontaneously in the moment, I thought of a thing. I said, who wants to get on stage and try and run across the stage past these bouncers, put the bouncers in the middle of the stage, and your job is to try to run past them.
Double daring.
We'll call it British Bulldog, which is like a game everybody knows.
Red Rover, kind of.
And I remember noticing one kid like jumping higher than everybody else, and he really just sort of wanted to. And it turned out he was like a 19-year-old kid. He like hardly weighed anything. He was so tiny, but I remember noticing like his enthusiasm. He wanted to do it, so I picked him. So okay, you start here, and these bouncers, they're gonna fuck you up.
Oh, no.
God. So the kid runs across the stage, and it was so anticlimactic. Like, he just ran into their arms. They just stopped him. They stopped him dead. And like, almost as an afterthought, and I didn't ever like suggest that they do this, even though I did say they're probably gonna fuck you up. These bouncers, there was like 2 or 3 of them. Collectively, they lifted this kid up in the air above their heads and just slammed him on the stage. They just slammed the kid on the stage, and he kind of landed on his head. And he was just left twitching.
Oh my God.
I think I remember there was some like reports said he was bleeding out of an ear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and like I remember like
a brain bleed.
Well, because of my like whole like circus background and like the show must go on. You gotta like deflect attention away. And I'm just like, the show must go on. I'm like, they're loading the kid into an ambulance, and I'm like, who wants to play another round of British Bulldog?
Yeah, right. Learn from your mistakes, kids.
Did he die?
No. He was fine. He did sue me though.
Really?
Oh, I bet.
I mean, it's settled.
You got to sign that waiver now, I bet.
Oh,
wow. He claimed brain damage, and it was just really gnarly.
First of all, you got to have brain damage in the first place if you're going to volunteer for something like that. Okay, so don't try to come at me after the fact.
For all I know, I shouldn't talk about it, but
it's all right.
This was a long time ago.
Statute of limitations and shit.
It was a long fucking time ago. But yeah, and so like as it turned out, there was somebody in the crowd who was who had like an old school home video camera. This is way good.
Camcorder.
And someone was videotaping the show from the crowd, and they turned the footage. They said, "Wow, I think what we just saw was a crime."
Oh, wow.
I think we just videotaped a crime. And they turned over the tape to the police, and the police were like, "Oh, it took a couple weeks, but after a couple weeks, then there was a warrant issued out for my arrest."
In Louisiana?
Yeah, I was back home in LA by this time. I was back home in Los Angeles, but I landed on the most wanted list, like in like number 1, because they had set the bail for me. There was a warrant. There were 2 warrants, and it was 1 point. Was it 1.2 million or 1.12 million?
For
one of
what?
the 2. Well, I think no, it was 1.2. Yeah, there was 1.2 because there was a $200,000 warrant for the crime with the kid, which was they called it principal to second-degree battery, because I orchestrated.
Were ringleading like you were taught to do in clown college.
Right. So that was principal to second-degree battery, or something. I don't know. It was a felony. and it was $200,000. What they charged me a full $1 million for the crime of obscenity, which was for stapling my nutsack to my leg. Which and there's another part of the show. I'd break a light bulb over my head, and with the broken glass, I would like cut my tongue.
Oh,
you know,
God.
so I cut my tongue, and then I've got like my tongue because the tongue bleeds so much, and it heals so fast as well. So I'd bleed all over myself, and I'd smear my blood everywhere, and it was just piss and blood and puke. And
obscene.
Right, it was
little obscene.
Right, but I'm covered in blood, and I get completely naked on the stage, and I got my staple gun. I'm going to staple my nutsack to my leg with an industrial staple gun. And I know what I said before I did it because it was like part of the court, you know, like as part of the court record. Like my
deposition or whatever.
My exact words before I stapled my ball sack was, "This is not art. This is strictly to be offensive."
So if you would have said this is art, do you think you would have gotten away with that?
I don't know that would have helped at all. I don't know if that would have helped at all. But like, and kind of thankfully, I'm not proud of what happened with the kid. I'm like, it was fucked up, and I'm not stoked that happened. And I wish I wouldn't have ever even thought that. I was just kind of like in the moment, just doing it. And I never told anybody to throw him down on his head.
No.
But what was fortunate for me was that the fact that I got charged with the felony for stapling my nutsack to my leg was like what the whole story was about.
But didn't you've done that before? Like on the show?
I had, not on the show. I did that. You see, when the show first got ordered, when Jackass got picked up, the phone conversation when the director told me, he said, it's not a pilot anymore. Like, we've been ordered to series. So he says, now that we've been ordered to series, we need to have, we need footage. We want you to send in because I had been videotaping forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had all this video. So we want you to send in all your video, and whatever is like really good, we want to put it on the show. But like, then I sent them all my video, and they told me, like, unfortunately, sadly, not one clip you sent us is allowed on TV.
Oh, no.
Because MTV was really touchy about fire. They had lost their ass in a lawsuit over Beavis and Butthead, you know, because like some kid burned down a trailer. And
really?
It was because Beavis used to click the lighter and go, fire, fire.
Yeah, I was butthead for Halloween in 5th grade.
I love it.
I sure was, mask and everything.
So they, they had all kinds of problems with the fire. So just fire with MTV was not okay, and so we couldn't do that. And
but that's my specialty.
And as a rule, if you like whatever you do, if you do it, like, it's cooler if you do it while you're on fire.
Why not?
So, and they had a rule, like, if you you can only jump from a certain height. If it was over a certain height, they couldn't show it. And I was just always jumping from way too fucking high while on fire. And if I wasn't doing that, then it was something really fucked up, you know? Because that was my whole thing. I deal in like super fucked up shit. And so from that
literally a kiddie pool full of it.
Right. And so from that first phone call, I remember thinking, like, man, I was worried that Jackass was going to be some watered down, you know, like, man, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, what kind of a wimpy show is this going to be? Of course, we figured out how to work around all the rules and do what we wanted to do. But from that first phone call, before I ever even taped for the show, I knew I was going to take all my video and I was going to make a Too Hot for TV DVD series, or at the time it was just VHS.
Yeah,
but I was gonna make Too Hot for TV, and I did too. Like, they used to have like the late night commercials for Girls Gone Wild, and then all of a sudden the late night commercials started coming on. It was Steve-O, the Don't Try This at Home video, like nothing that's allowed on TV.
My mom got that for us.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like in the Christmas stocking.
Yeah, and from that point, whenever like I had an idea and I was like, hey, I want to do this, and they're like, oh no, they'll never let us do that. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, and then I just did it on my own. You know, like I found a registered nurse to inject, to put an IV in my arm, and then I poured vodka in the bag, and
you walking around your little gown,
dude, like for real. And I've never been one to fake anything, man. I've always been like, I've worked with YouTubers, and they're like, oh, we'll just fake it. I'm like, what? What?
Don't get me started.
I'm like, dude, I'm like, if I ever fake one fucking thing, then everything I've ever done in my career will come into question.
Yeah.
You know, like, everything will come into question. There's no fucking way I'm going to ever fake anything. And so I can tell you, I guarantee you, I injected 5 ounces of vodka into my arm.
What happened?
Of course, I kept saline in the bag. I would have done whiskey,
that's good.
but I wanted it to match the saline because I didn't want to die.
Right.
So there was kind of like a mixed drink of the saline solution that comes in the bag,
There you go.
and I added 5 ounces.
Stay hydrated.
Right.
You know.
I added 5. It was a mixed drink.
It's only 5 ounces.
Wait, so that went right into your blood?
It went in my arm, yeah.
What happened?
I could feel my arm burning.
Oof.
I had a pretty high tolerance to alcohol at the time, and so I didn't really notice much happening. And as the bag became closer and closer to empty, I felt like the bit was sort of going nowhere. And so then I wheeled I was in a hospital gown, which I had gotten from a terrible accident. I kept the gown. And so I went in my hospital gown. I wheeled my IV stand to the nearest bar. I just went up to the bar and I just did shot after shot after shot until I was visibly so visibly drunk that I could film a convincing out. I had 5 shots shot through my veins and I'm fine.
Oh my God.
And it was a good bit.
In a used gown.
When's the last time that you did something crazy? Like, because I feel like you've taken a break, right?
No, I mean, well, I'm like healing right now from like the one I'm working on right now. Because I have this old car and I want to finish it off. I just want to like crash it enough times it just won't run anymore. So I'm looking for things to crash the car through, and the first thing I thought of was like a wooden porta potty, like outhouse structure.
Yeah.
Sort of built kind of flimsy. And so with the super slow-mo camera, the car crashing through it will look really cool.
On fire?
And so I want to crash with explosions in it.
Okay, cool.
Even though like so I was like, I'm gonna sit on top of the porta potty. So I'm like pretty high up in the air. When the car crashes through it, and then I'll fall to the ground. But that was so easy. It was like too easy. And so then I'm like, okay, thank God I've got a backup porta potty. So I sit on the next porta potty. I'm gonna stand on the roof of it, stand on a skateboard. And so then the car crashes through the porta potty, and I got to drop down to the ground and land on the board. Success, but the board got away from me, and I tweaked my ankle, and my hand is messed up still too. But right now, my buddy's building 4 more porta potties.
Nice.
Because like we're gonna do it again, and I just like what I need to do is crouch down and actually grab the board with my hand.
Like an ollie, old school. Not ollie. What's on the pool?
I'm not gonna early grab. I'm gonna early grab, like crouch down, grab the board, so I'm holding it, and hopefully I can just land it.
What if it was a snowboard? It was just on your feet.
Wait, what is this for? Is for YouTube?
Well, yeah, it'll be for YouTube, yeah. And I'm always doing stuff like it breaks my heart that I'm the only guy like. I mean, Knoxville's like doing stuff all the time, but it's mostly like, sort of legit kind of like, acting or whatever. Like, as far as like still doing like kind of jackass crazy kind of stunts and pranks or whatever, like sort of like kind of crazy shit we do, I don't know that there are any of the other guys doing it, and I've never stopped. I've never slowed down.
You're the OG of it in terms of your crew, because now you got all these young kids doing all them pranks and trying and doing all that.
I'm talking about of the jackass.
Oh, your crew, yeah.
You know what's crazy though, and not to sound like
and sorry to interrupt, but it's probably a good time to plug my channel. Like if anybody doesn't know this, like I have not fucking stopped like doing like super gnarly shit. It's just Steve-O, STEVEO. And I've got, I mean, I don't know, I've got like maybe like 3.6 million.
Hey,
wow.
So it's pretty good. I got more people on Facebook.
Old school.
like YouTube is where it's at, where it's been at. But the thing is, I think Facebook, for me, I get way more views.
Yeah.
I just posted a video on Facebook like a few weeks ago, 44 million views.
Ooh.
I know, I can't even believe it.
Wow, can we get together and figure out like
Sure.
we can
Put
put
him
on
through
both
the
our
ringer.
channels? No, not me.
He needs it.
I want to like prank my mom. Like we'll have my mom meet you and she'll be so excited, but then you like die in front of her, and then my mom cries.
That's the problem is that when I show up, you get like I think they're gonna know. If you're gonna have someone die,
No, my mom won't know.
Oh yeah. Well,
She believes everything.
You said she's a fan and that she watches the show. It'd be better to have someone else that's not.
Well, I'll be like, oh, mom, he quit that whole thing. Like he's like Christian now, and he's like sober and very religious, and then just something crazy.
There's another idea. How often do you upload?
Every day.
God damn. See, that's the thing. and so crazy. And so, did you do vlogs?
Not really. I used to. Not really anymore.
So you're always looking for a new creative idea every day.
Yeah.
God damn, that's crazy. And like, what about the anxiety? Like,
I mean, I've got it down to a science now, where on Monday I film 5 videos, and that gets me through the week. So
bless your heart.
But I'm not like jumping off of porta potties and
That's
exploding.
true. Right. He's like trying Twinkies.
I wish that I could like crank out more stuff, but I don't know. Like I like to think of myself as the Quentin Tarantino of YouTube. You know, I put shit out rarely, but only when like
it's a
project. I really I don't know.
Wait, so the rest of the Jackass guys, so what are they all? Because what's crazy is you, and we're not just saying this because Jess said this earlier, you look like the youngest and the best out of all of them, but you're the one that's still fucking yourself up every day, which is crazy.
I mean, first, thank you for the kind words. It's a really nice thing to say. And I don't know, I guess like I got sober, you know, like I put down the drugs and booze 8 years ago. So I've been kind of taking better care of myself, maybe.
No, definitely. It shows.
Well,
you fine as a motherfucker right now.
Do you still talk to the other guys?
All the time. And
how is Bam is the one? I was watching him on that show.
The family therapy.
And that fucked me up. Like that was really hard to watch. Is he cool now?
By all accounts, it sounds like he's doing better.
Oh no!
Well,
I mean, in that show, he like punched his hand through like a car window. It was intense, and I was
that's
like,
hard to do.
It is hard to do. My thoughts on that, and I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, but I just think that it wasn't like the best idea to sign up for that show. Of course, given that he made the call and he did it anyway, like the way he actually kind of carried himself throughout the show,
right?
Not in like the sensational, like why he was there package with the punching card, but actually like the body of the show while he was in that house. I thought that he had humility. I thought that he, you know, didn't like make a joke out of it. I thought that he was really endearing.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
like
I loved
overall. Overall, I thought he was really endearing, and I think that like some of the stuff coming out with the dynamics between him and his mom was like probably pretty helpful.
Well, he put his parents through.
Right. But in any case, we're all rooting for Bam. Everybody wants him to really just kind of like be healthy. And
have you guys thought about doing, I mean, of course you have, but like, is there ever going to be any kind of reunion or some kind of a special?
If we were to, we're actually getting together next week. We have everybody from the cast coming. We got Jeff Tremaine, the director, Knoxville, Wee Man, Pontius, Danger Aaron, Preston Lacey. We're going to have like every single one of us will be at my house for a dinner party next week.
And y'all need a date.
But except for Bam, and not necessarily because we don't want Bam there or anything like that, or Bam doesn't want to be there. I think Bam's maybe in Europe, or if not, he's in Philadelphia. He's just not going to be here, but it'll be great. And the primary reason for us to get together is to figure out like what kind of project, if anything, do we do. I know that like another Jackass movie is really not on the table.
Yeah.
You know, it's really not. But that's not to say that we shouldn't find another kind of project to do. And so we're going to talk about that.
That would be. You know, what would be interesting is if you wanted to turn Jackass into like some kind of a long-lasting brand. Because what you could do is the movie could be you guys trying to find young, new Jackass guys and put them through the ringer. And then if that works, they could take over.
Make a college, just like Bonham and Bailey.
Yeah, like a clown, like a Jackass
like
college.
a Jackass college.
I'm taking percentage of that.
I think it's interesting. You know, I certainly, I remember like when it first came out and it had the like the warning on the beginning. It said like, you know, don't attempt anything you're going to see. Like, don't bother sending us your own video submissions. We won't even watch them.
Yeah.
I wanted so badly at that time to like open up my own PO box and say, hey, everybody, send them to me.
Yeah.
Because I just thought that like I was sort of in the business of making Too Hot for TV DVDs. And I just thought that, like, I wanted to call it Children of the Beast.
Yeah.
Attempts at being on Jackass.
Yeah.
You know, like copycat,
why not?
Copycats Gone Wild.
Yeah.
You know? And just put together, like, the funniest, most notable, like, submissions. And I thought that would be hilarious. Of course, there never was an address to, you know, I mean, I knew better than to open that P.O. box. So who knows what happened. But now, like, you can't stop, you know.
But if you can teach kids how to do it the right way safely and try to eliminate some of that, you know,
right,
the actual like death factor.
Like the most important thing about it is just that you make yourself the butt of the jokes. You know, you don't want to like. I mean, I saw some criticism of like the Natural Born Pranksters movie, and I love those guys. But they did kind of target people in sort of a mean way, you know.
But all that's
it was kind of mean. Like a lot of those pranks.
But
And I
isn't
think
all of that fake anyways? I mean, I don't want to start drama, but every prank on YouTube is fucking fake, right? Like all of that.
Somebody knows what's going on.
Like I said, man, as soon as you fake one thing, everything that you ever do and your whole career comes into question, which is why it's so fucking important to me to not have anything to do with fake anything. And like watching that movie, I can see evidently, you know, I mean, I imagine there's maybe more is fake than I even know, but I can just, like, I can tell. Like,
well, nowadays you can't, nobody wants to, like, get sued. They don't, that's why you kind of have to fake everything. Interesting.
I don't.
That's right.
I don't have to fake it. And, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, I want to tell all the guys, like, don't fucking fake anything, man. Like, you know, like, you're going to ruin it. And then, like, and then now, like, you know, I see, like, under posts, like, everything's fake.
Yeah.
People, the one word comment, they just write fake. That's never going to fucking happen to me.
And if it does, it's a lie.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, guys, please go subscribe to him. I'm going to go home and watch hours of this because I didn't know this was happening, and I'm very excited about it.
You didn't know what was happening?
Your YouTube. I didn't know you were doing that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, man. It was, like, kind of depressing. Like, I mean, it was depressing for me to have been in like #1 box office movies, 3 of them. Every single one, every Jackass movie came out #1.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now I'm gonna upload YouTube videos. Like, to me, that it felt like such a harsh demotion. It, like, such a step backwards in my career. And it was like, but I had to do it because I just had to. Like, I just couldn't, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a different platform.
It's different, but even more, like 44
right.
million views on one of these pranks is like.
Well, that was for
crazy.
That was for titty trick shots, where I got like a ridiculous big boob girl and like brought her over, and I did these amazing trick shots, like Dude Perfect, except like after it bounces, you know, the ball ends up landing in her cleavage.
Yes.
Which was fucking awesome. That's the last one I uploaded. But yeah, man, like, and I had to do it just to keep my sanity because. Yeah. Like at the time, Knoxville was taping the Bad Grandpa movie, and I was like, man, fuck, Knoxville Timberlaked us, you know. Now it's like we got to figure out what it's like to be the Jackson 4. You know,
yeah, like Kelly and Michelle, Beyonce's over there doing the thing. Yeah,
right. I felt like, you know, like I felt like they're making a Jackass movie without the cast of Jackass, and I felt like. You know, and I think that the other guys probably felt the same way. Like, cast aside, like Knoxville's making a Jackass movie without us. Like, we're fired. Yeah. You know, and I had a TV show that I was doing at the time where I was hosting a show and people were singing karaoke while terrible shit was happening to them, and it was like
I remember that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, but there was like a lot of animal stuff, and I'm like an animal rights guy, and I kind of like just sort of like pretended like, you know, I just didn't make a big deal out of it. And then when the show came out, I realized that like some of this shit we were doing with animals was really pretty uncool. Right. And so I told the network and the producers, moving forward, I have no sense of humor about anything involving animals. I just don't. And so then the next thing I heard was that they let me go and they replaced me.
With who?
Mark McGrath. And
he hates animals.
Dude, I love Mark McGrath. I think we have like a common love for Howard Stern, and I've got no problem with Mark McGrath. But at that time, I felt like I had been fired from fucking Jackass and lost my one gig that I had. Yeah. You know, of course, I've been touring around doing a live comedy show, and I've been super successful with that, and I'm 6 years into it. Ooh. I got my own comedy special on Showtime. You know, like it's like a link to it is in all my social media pages, and I've really made television history with my comedy special. I did some it's the most like stunt-packed, fucking crazy one-man show like ever.
You're not going to get arrested for anything, are you?
Well, no, it's already come out, and it's fine.
Just making sure, babe.
I really...
But you got 1.2 mil for bail.
I really pushed myself, like, you know, to the limits on that comedy special. But in any case, at that time, I mean, yeah, I had my comedy tour, but I just felt like fucking... So I started the YouTube channel. And I collaborated with, like, big YouTube stars. So, smart. And so we crossed... You know, we drove each other to traffic, even though I had no traffic. So it was like a big favor. It was kind of
but
like...
you had history.
Right. I was kind of a get for the guys I collaborated with because they had Steve-O and like, and them driving. So I landed on YouTube, like overnight I had like In like 24 hours, I think I picked up like 150,000 subs
Wow.
or something. And it was just like, and I was uploading like pretty regularly. I mean, I've never stopped uploading. I just don't, I'll do it every month or every 2 weeks or something. But, or sometimes every 3 months. Okay. But the thing was that at that time, when I landed on YouTube, it was like I just really started strong. I hit the ground running really fast. And then I started getting calls from agencies, big three or whatever, four. And like, they're saying that we want to represent you in the digital space.
Isn't that nuts? Like a digital space is a thing?
This is why I salute you. Because this is like the way that the fucking world is going, like what I was so depressed about actually brought about a total rebirth in my career because now like agents were pursuing me to represent me in digital, to
new platform, new everything, new rules, new.
It's not a new platform because there's so many platforms in the digital space, but it's just a new fucking universe, And
I still don't get that shit.
Right, and so I met with all these agencies and at UTA, and I'm so in love with UTA.
Wait, are you with them? I'm with them. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, who's my agent now? Jordan Burke is my main guy. He was, and I hope I'm not like the guy, whatever. I'm giving him. I love him. I love this guy.
Props to Jordan.
He's telling me, he's like, hey man, I know we don't represent you yet, or not yet, but I know that like we're just sort of talking about it. But I did like pick up the phone and make a couple calls, and like and I did get an offer if you wanted to jump on they've got your first class tickets if you want them to jump on an airplane and fly to Atlanta to film a scene with Samuel L. Jackson in this movie.
Yes.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, that sounds dope, And so
I will take those snakes on the plane.
So I signed on with UTA, and then like one of the first meetings we had was like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want two things. I want to have my own comedy special. And I want to have my own movie. And already I got the comedy special, and movies take a little longer, but yeah, like I got to deal with the producer.
It's great.
Like I'm a badass producer guy who's produced like 175 movies with like everybody in the world, and they got me a deal with them, and like we're writing this movie, and like I'm getting really close to fucking making it happen. And so everything that they've asked me, what do I want to do, like, is happening. And it's like, it's all because I picked up the camera and got on YouTube and,
And I'm sure being sober helped.
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything if I wasn't
Absolutely.
sober. Like,
well, guys.
I just couldn't. But congratulations to you and all of your success. We didn't even get to it, but I knew your name initially because my niece, who is now 14, but I'm thinking this is about a year ago, she convinced my dad to drive her from Palm Beach Gardens, which is like a good 2-hour drive down to Miami, to drive her the 2 hours to Miami to go to a bookstore, to wait in line for however many hours for the chance to meet you and take a photo with you. And she's such a huge fan of yours. And I don't know.
Did she get a photo?
I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. But we talked about maybe FaceTime.
Call her.
Yeah.
Call her right now.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys have the technology to try it. Like, or maybe we.
Are you on the Wi-Fi?
Maybe we could wrap it up. But I turned off my phone because.
Oh, you're such a gentleman.
What's her name?
Her name's Cassie. And yesterday was her first day of high school.
Oh.
Brutal.
Whoa. Is she a good kid, like gonna rock out high school, or is she like, she's gonna get bullied or like anything like that?
Cool. Wait, high school? What's the date? I feel like doesn't.
So high school starts like in summer now.
Why?
Like all schools. Schools are back to school. I know, it's always after Labor Day for me. But no, schools are starting earlier and earlier.
Wait, is she even out? Wait, is she still in school?
And I feel like we've given away that this was taped maybe 2 weeks before it came out.
That's all right.
Oh, that's right.
Because anybody following me will have at this point seen all the pictures of me with all the guys at my house. And
it takes time to upload it and edit it.
It takes time to make it the way that we need it.
This is not a viral video here.
Right.
Wait, I wonder if she's going to answer.
I wonder
my
too.
Foot, it is.
What the hell does that mean?
Oh, shit. Sorry, I got the sound machine down here. My foot hit it.
That was great. I love that.
You know, whether or not this is actually a
What
part.
if she's in class right now?
She won't because she's in Florida. So.
Oh, time difference. It took me a minute to understand what you were saying with that. I was like, Florida, what does that have to do with it?
Oh, is it happening? Oh, it's happening.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to pick up.
If she doesn't answer, I'll just send her a video or something weird.
Right.
Oh, it's
You're
ringing.
gonna
Ooh, I'm so nervous.
In Florida, it's 4:20.
Yes!
Perfect.
It's my favorite time of day.
If she doesn't answer, that's going to be very rude.
Oh,
to
this is
you.
gonna be our second denial of a
To her
FaceTime or like a.
I know.
Ooh, leave a scathing message though.
FaceTime unavailable. What does
Here,
that mean?
let me
Maybe
send
she's
her
not on
something.
Wi-Fi, or are you on Wi-Fi? I think you have to be on a Wi-Fi connected
Leave
network
a
to
message. Okay, so I'll like.
Oh, she's gonna regret not picking that up. Mariah Carey called my girl for her birthday, and she didn't pick up the phone. She didn't leave a message, but it was Mariah, and she regretted it.
It's Cassie, right?
Cassie,
Yeah.
I sent a little video.
if you've made one,
Hey, Cassie, I'm here with your uncle. He's a
right.
really cool guy. And good luck in high school, and don't get pregnant. Bye. Perfect.
Beautiful. That's excellent.
oh, she's gonna be so pissed she didn't pick up that phone. She's gonna,
That's so
Cassie,
funny.
I'm sorry, but you're gonna be very upset with yourself.
I'm so glad you told her not to get pregnant.
And well, it's good advice.
It is good
hard out there.
advice.
Well, there you guys go. Please go subscribe to Steve-O. I know I am. And maybe one day we'll, make my mom think that I'm dead. Oh, the prank could be that I died. That's even better.
Or no, that you got together with me
Yeah.
to film
Y'all did
some
some
kind of
crazy
crazy
shit.
stunt,
And
and
then
it
I-
went very wrong.
Wrong. And then
get
we
a
call her. She comes there. Oh, wow.
Right.
We'll get
Pop
an
out of it.
ambulance. We'll
Right.
figure it out. Full screen.
I can-
There you guys go. Make sure to check out the show on fullscreen.com or download the Fullscreen app. Go subscribe to Steve-O. And we're going to go sit on a porta potty and just kill ourselves.
And blow it up. Light it on
Bye.
fire.